And we'll keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries. 100 mushrooms mysteries as looping softly, endlessly, through the night. Tonight we'll drift through the hidden fungal highways beneath ancient forests, mushrooms that glow softly in total darkness, and spores that drift across continents on the night air. There's nothing you need to do now. Just let your body sink, heavier, heavier. Feel the mattress holding you, every muscle softening, your heartbeat slowing, thump, thump, matching the rhythm of space itself. Shoulders melting down, jaw releasing, each breath pulling you deeper, deeper into the calm, the quiet, the dark. If this helps you rest, tap subscribe, comment, and hit like, so others can find this calm too, but only if your eyes are still open. Otherwise, just drift. Now, let's drift into mushrooms, beneath your feet right now, miles of silent threads, weaving through darkness, through soil and stone, mycelium, the hidden body of the fungus, spreading, always spreading. These aren't plants. No. Fungi belong to their own kingdom entirely, closer to animals than to trees, sharing more of their cellular machinery with you than with the flowers in a meadow. They breathe like you do, consuming oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide into the dark. Thump, thump. Your heart syncing with the ancient rhythm of decomposition, of transformation. A mushroom, the part you see, is just the fruit, like an apple on a tree, the reproductive bloom of something vast beneath. The real organism, the mycelium, spreads invisible, thread-thin hyphae, each one thinner than a human hair, branching, merging, creating networks that stretch for miles. In a single teaspoon of forest soil, there can be miles of these fungal threads, miles, compressed into darkness, silent, patient, ancient. Let your breathing slow, slower. Feel the weight of your head sinking into the pillow, heavier, your eyelids, so heavy now. The mycelium doesn't sleep, doesn't rest. It grows in the quiet, in the dark, always the dark, extending itself one cell at a time, building highways beneath the forest floor. These highways, these mycorrhizal networks, connect tree to tree. A partnership that began 400 million years ago, long before flowers existed, before grass. The fungi wrap around tree roots, thin as whispers, trading nutrients. The trees give sugar, created by sunlight, and the fungi give minerals, phosphorus pulled from stone, nitrogen drawn from decay. A trade, silent, essential, endless. Your muscles releasing now, letting go. The tension in your shoulders, melting, melting, like mycelium dissolving dead wood, breaking bonds, transforming, returning everything to soil. In the forests, trees connected by these fungal networks. There was a theory, a beautiful idea, that they communicate, share resources. Mother trees feeding their young through fungal threads. It became known as the Wood Wide Web, a fungal internet. But drift with this gently. The science is softer than the story. Trees do connect through fungi. That's real. But the communication, the intent, that's something we draped over the mystery, hoping to find consciousness where there might just be chemistry. The fungi don't carry messages with purpose. They respond to chemical gradients, to nutrients flowing from abundance towards scarcity. It's beautiful without being conscious, like water finding downhill, like your breath, flowing in, flowing out, no thought required. Thump, thump. Let your jaw release completely. Notice any tension in your tongue. Let it soften. Rest against your teeth. The mycelium knows no tension. It grows in curves, in spirals, following chemical trails through darkness. When it finds food, a fallen log, a dead root, It floods that space with threads, digesting from the outside, releasing enzymes that break down cellulose, lignin, the tough materials that lock carbon away. This is the fungal gift, decomposition. Without fungi, forests would choke on their own dead, carbon locked forever in fallen trees. In autumn, leaves piled higher each year. But the mushrooms break it all down, return it, reweave it, carbon cycling through darkness, through mycelial threads, back into soil, into air, into new growth. Your breath is the same carbon, breathed by forests, by fungi, cycling, endlessly cycling. Feel it move through you, cool air in, warm air out, becoming part of the great exchange, the endless transformation. In autumn, when the air cools and rain soaks deep into soil, mushrooms appear overnight. Where yesterday there was nothing, today, a perfect cap, pale gills, a stem pushing through leaf litter. This isn't magic, though it feels like it. The mycelium has been there all along, growing, spreading, storing energy, and when conditions align, moisture, temperature, some mysterious trigger, it pours all that stored energy into making fruit, making mushrooms, in hours, in darkness, while you sleep. The mushroom cap unfurls, gills form in perfect parallel lines, each surface packed with basidia, club-shaped cells that will produce spores, millions of spores, billions, each one microscopic, carrying the genetic code to start again, to drift on wind, to wait, patient, for the right place, the right time. Feel your body sinking deeper, the mattress rising to hold you, supporting every part of you, heavy, so heavy, like spores settling through still air or drifting down, down, into darkness. Some spores drift for miles as caught in updrafts, riding thermals high into the atmosphere, crossing continents. One study found mushroom spores in air samples taken from planes, 40,000 feet up, drifting in the jet stream, patient, waiting for descent, for rain to pull them down to earth again. Other spores hitch rides, on fur, on feathers. Animals brush against mushroom caps and carry spores away, scatter them. Some fungi evolved caps that smell like rotting meat, attracting flies, who land, who walk across the gills, who carry spores on their feet to the next feast, the next opportunity, your heartbeat, thump, thump, slower now. The flies don't know they're servants to the fungus. They follow scent, follow instinct, and the mycelium spreads, uses, transforms. In forests, you might find rings of mushrooms, fairy rings, growing in perfect circles, expanding outward year after year. In folklore, these were dancing grounds for fae, for spirits. Step inside the ring and you'd be trapped, enchanted, spirited away. But the truth is quieter and stranger. The mycelium grows outward from a central point, consuming nutrients as it spreads. Each year, the ring grows wider, the mushrooms fruiting at the advancing edge where food is richest. Some fairy rings are centuries old, 700 years, expanding slowly, patiently, outliving the stories told about them. Let the stories drift away, let thought dissolve. Your mind quiet, quieter, like a forest at midnight, when even wind holds still. Ancient peoples knew mushrooms as sacred, mysterious. The Amanita muscaria, red cap dotted with white, the mushroom of fairy tales, of Christmas cards and gnome gardens, was used in shamanic rituals. In Siberia, in northern Europe, reindeer sought them out, eating them for the psychoactive compounds, and shamans would drink reindeer urine, concentrating the medicine, flying through visions. The mushroom contains muscimol, ibotenic acid, compounds that distort perception, that pull consciousness sideways into dream. But we're drifting differently tonight. No need for chemicals, just breath. just darkness, just the quiet weight of sleep settling over you like snow. Other mushrooms all to mind more gently. Psilocybe species, containing psilocybin, used for millennia in Mesoamerican rituals. The Aztecs called them Teonanacatl, flesh of the gods. In recent years, science has circled back, studying these compounds for depression, for anxiety, for the rigid patterns of thought that trap us. The mushrooms seem to dissolve boundaries, temporarily, allowing the brain to form new connections, new pathways, like mycelium spreading through forest floor. Your thoughts loosening now, connections softening, drifting apart, reforming, or maybe just dissolving into sleep. Not all mushrooms are safe, no. Some carry death in their cells. The Amanita phalloides, death cap, beautiful, elegant, a pale greenish-yellow cap, white gills, innocent looking. But it contains amatoxins, compounds that destroy the liver, the kidneys. You might eat it, feel fine for hours, even a day. And then the symptoms begin, and by then, too late. The toxins have done their work. The mushrooms don't create these poisons out of malice. They're defense, chemical warfare against animals that would eat them, against insects that would consume their flesh before spores can form. The fungi that survive are those that learn to make themselves unpalatable, toxic, deadly. But your body is safe, warm, protected. Nothing can harm you here or in this dark and this quiet. Let any fear drift away. Like spores on wind, gone, scattered. Some mushrooms you can eat. More than eat. Treasure. Chanterelles, with their apricot scent. Golden folds beneath the cap. Growing in partnership with trees. Oaks. Pines. Their mycelium woven into roots. Impossible to cultivate. Impossible to farm. They must be found. Foraged, a gift from the forest, porcini, with their thick stems and nutty flavour, morels, with their honeycomb caps, appearing after forest fires, after disturbance, thriving on ash. People have foraged mushrooms for thousands of years, reading the forest, learning which shapes mean food, which mean danger. A mushroom that bruises blue might be edible, or might be toxic. The colour comes from chemical reactions, psilocybin oxidizing in some species, other compounds in others. You cannot judge safety by colour alone, by smell alone. Each species must be learned, respected. Your breath, in, out, no effort, automatic. Like the forest breathing through mycelium, through soil, through the quiet exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in darkness. Some mushrooms smell sweet, like almonds, like anise. The almond scent can mean safety, or can mean cyanide compounds, deadly. Again, no simple rules, only learning, patient, careful, like sleep. You cannot force it, only create conditions, only allow. Other mushrooms smell of decay, of rotting fish, of corpses. The stinkhorn mushrooms, Phallus impudicus and its relatives, emerge from egg-like structures, growing rapidly into phallic shapes, caps covered in olive-brown slime that reeks of death. This slime contains the spores, and flies, attracted by the smell, land and feed, carrying spores away on their bodies. The mushroom uses disgust as distribution, rot as reproduction, but let disgust drift away. There's no judgment in the forest, no good or bad, only strategies, only survival, only the quiet mathematics of reproduction. Your face completely relaxed now, every muscle soft, your breathing shallow, slow, the boundary between waking and sleep dissolving, thinning, like a mushroom veil tearing as the cap expands. In some mushrooms, the mycelium glows, bioluminescence. a cold green light in total darkness. Panellus stypticus in North America, Omphalotus olearius, the jack-o'-lantern mushroom, Armillaria melea glowing soft in rotting wood. The light comes from a chemical reaction, luciferin oxidizing, the same compound that makes fireflies glow. But why do fungi glow? That question, softer, harder to answer. Perhaps the light attracts insects, who spread spores. Perhaps it's a byproduct, an accident of chemistry with no purpose at all. The mushrooms glow regardless, in caves, in deep forests, on moonless nights, blue-green, ghostly, beautiful, indifferent to whether anyone sees. There are mushrooms deep in caves where no light has ever reached, growing on bat guano, on minerals leached from stone, sustained by nutrients carried in from the surface, by water seeping down through limestone, through darkness. These fungi have never known sunlight, never needed it. They feed on what darkness provides, patient, perfectly adapted, and in extremes, fungi survive what would kill almost anything else. In Chernobyl, in the ruined reactor, black fungi grow on the walls, thriving in radiation that would kill a human in minutes. These radiotrophic fungi, they use melanin, the same pigment that colors human skin, to capture energy from gamma rays, to grow, to spread, feeding on radiation like plants feed on light. Your body safe, far from radiation, far from danger, held by soft darkness, by cotton, by the gentle weight of blankets, sinking, sinking. Fungi have been found in the Arctic, growing at temperatures that freeze water solid. Their cells full of antifreeze compounds, growing slowly, so slowly, but growing. In deserts, endolithic fungi, living inside rocks, in the tiny spaces between crystals, consuming minerals, sustained by dew, by the briefest moisture. Some of these fungi are black, dark pigments protecting against UV radiation, against the relentless sun. The planet is wrapped in fung, pole to pole, desert to ocean, from the highest mountains to the deepest caves, adapting and surviving, transforming. Thump, thump, your heart beating slower, in rhythm with deep time, with patient time, with fungal time. Some fungi eat things that shouldn't be edible. Plastic, a human invention. Polymers that resist decay. But certain fungi produce enzymes that can break the carbon bonds. Pestaloteuopsis microspora, eating polyurethane, Aspergillus tubangensis, degrading plastic in weeks instead of centuries. The fungi don't do this for us. They do it because any carbon source, any energy, is opportunity, is survival. Oil spills, thick, toxic, choking soil and water. And fungi arrive, Pleurotus austriatus, oyster mushrooms, breaking down petroleum, transforming it, cleaning. This is mycoremediation, using fungi to heal what humans damage. The mycelium spreads through contaminated soil, secretes enzymes, breaks apart the complex molecule, renders them harmless. Your own body doing this constantly, breaking down, building up, transforming food into energy, into flesh. Cells dying, new cells forming. You're a process, not a thing. Like mycelium, always becoming. Fungi are old, older than trees. The first fungi appeared maybe 1 billion years ago, or more. Simple, aquatic. When life crawled onto land, fungi were already there, coating rocks, breaking stone into soil, creating the conditions for plants to follow. 400 million years ago, the first forests grew and the fungi grew with them. Prototaxites, a strange organism, a trunk rising 20 feet high, made of fungal tissue, not wood, not plant. These were the largest organisms on land, towering fungi, forests of mushrooms before forests of trees. The fossil record is sparse. Fungi don't preserve well. soft tissue, delicate, but occasionally perfectly preserved. In amber, a mushroom from 100 million years ago, cap, gills, spores, identical to species alive today. The mushrooms found a form that works and kept it, patient, unchanging, while dinosaurs rose, while dinosaurs fell. Let your thoughts drift to deep time, to millions of years, your own life, brief, beautiful, insignificant, like a single mushroom, fruiting for a day, a week, then gone. But the mycelium continues, the pattern continues, after the asteroid struck, 66 million years ago, when dust blocked the sun and plants withered, when dinosaurs starved, the fungi thrived, they feast on death, on decay. The world darkened, cooled, and mushrooms bloomed, breaking down the fallen, the dead, recycling catastrophe into opportunity. Some scientists think this fungal bloom, this explosion of decomposition, it may have acidified the oceans, added to the extinction. Another blow, piled on top of impact winter, on top of darkness. But your darkness is gentle, warm, safe. Nothing dies here, only rests, only drifts towards sleep, toward the quiet country where thoughts dissolve. Your breathing almost imperceptible now, the smallest movements, ribs rising, falling, like mycelium respiring in soil, invisible, essential. Humans have used fungi as medicine for thousands of years, though we didn't always know what we were using. Bread mold, pressed against wounds, preventing infection. We called it folk wisdom, but the mold was penicillium, producing penicillin, killing bacteria, saving lives. In 1928, Alexander Fleming noticed bacterial colonies dying around mold contamination, and the age of antibiotics began, all from a fungus, from its chemical warfare against competitors. Now we search fungi for other medicines, compounds that fight viruses, that modulate immune systems, turkey tail mushrooms, Trametes versicolor, containing polysaccharides that may boost immune response, reishi, Ganoderma lucidum, the mushroom of immortality in Chinese medicine, glossy, red-brown, growing on dead hardwoods, used for thousands of years for longevity, for vitality. Modern research finds triterpenes, compounds that might reduce inflammation, might protect the liver. The effects are subtle, the science uncertain, but people still seek these mushrooms, still brew them into tea, still hope. Lion's mane, Hericium erinaceus, a mushroom that looks like a white waterfall, like icicles of fungal tissue. Studies suggest it might stimulate nerve growth factor, might support brain health, cognitive function. The research is early, preliminary, but intriguing. The idea that a mushroom might help neurons grow, might protect against decline. It fits our desire for simple cures, for natural remedies. But drift gently with these claims. Don't grasp too tight. Let them be possibilities, not promises. Your mind loosening its grip on everything, on worry, on hope, on the need to know, just floating, just being, in darkness, in quiet. Cordyceps, a genus of fungi that parasitizes insects. The fungal spores land on an ant, a beetle, a caterpillar. They germinate, hyphae growing into the insect's body, consuming it from within. And then, the mushroom takes control, in ants. The infected worker leaves the colony, climbs a plant, bites down on a leaf or stem at a very specific height, and dies. The fungus then fruits from the ant's head, a stalk emerging, releasing spores to rain down on workers below. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, the zombie ant fungus. It seems like mind control, like consciousness hijacked, and in a way, it is. The fungus produces chemicals that affect the ant's brain, alter its behavior, compel it to climb, to bite, to position itself perfectly for spore dispersal. But the ant has no self to lose, no consciousness to mourn. It's a biological robot, reprogrammed. The fungus just better code. Let that thought drift away. You are not an ant, not a host. Your mind is your own, settling into sleep where dreams may come or may not. And either way, it's fine, it's perfect. There are thousands of cordyceps species, each specialized for different insects. Some target moths, some beetles, some spiders. In the Himalayas, Cordyceps sinensis infects ghost moth caterpillars. The fungus mummifies the caterpillar underground, then sends up a thin fruiting body, barely visible in the grass. Yatsugunbu, the caterpillar fungus, worth more than gold, harvested, sold as medicine, as an aphrodisiac. The science doesn't support the claims, but the demand remains, and the high meadows are picked clean each year. Your body heavy, so heavy, beyond movement, consciousness a dim glow, fading, like bioluminescence in a cave, guttering, going dark. Animals farm fungi. Did you know? Termites cultivate mushrooms in their mounds, vast underground chambers filled with chewed wood, and growing on that wood, termitomyces, a fungus that breaks down cellulose, makes it digestible. The termites tend these gardens, regulate temperature, humidity, remove competing fungi, harvest the mushroom nodules, feed them to their young. This partnership is 30 million years old, older than human agriculture by vast ages. Leafcutter ants do the same, cutting leaves, carrying them underground in long green rivers of workers. They don't eat the leaves. No, they feed them to their fungus, Leucoagaricus gongolophorus, which grows nowhere else. Only in ant colonies, only in the dark chambers tended by workers. The ants eat the fungus eats the leaves, and the partnership continues, has continued for 50 million years. The ants carry the fungus with them. Queen ants, when they leave to start new colonies, they carry a pellet of mycelium in a special pocket in their mouths. The fungus is their most precious cargo, their future, their survival. Humans too have shaped our evolution around fungi. Perhaps the mushrooms we foraged, the visions they gave, the nutrition they provided. Some theorists suggest that psilocybin mushrooms expanded human consciousness, sparked language, religion, art, the stoned ape theory. Beautiful, but unprovable, drifting in the realm of maybe, of what if. Like so many things about fungi, questions easier than answers. But we know fungi shaped early life, certainly. The first organisms to colonize land. They needed fungi, mycorrhizal partnerships, allowing plants to pull nutrients from barren rock, from primitive soil. Without fungi, the land might still be bare, sterile. The green world, built on fungal foundations, on partnerships invisible, underground. Your foundation is the mattress, the floor, the earth below, supporting you, always supporting you. Let go, let everything go. Sink into that support, into darkness, into the drift. The mycelium networks, researchers have found, carry electrical signals, tiny voltages, pulses that travel through the hyphae, like neurons firing, like nerve impulses. Does this mean mushrooms think? Can fungi have consciousness? These signals seem to spike when the mycelium encounters food, encounters threat. Patterns emerge, rhythms, almost like language, almost like communication. But drift softly here. Don't claim too much. Electrical activity isn't thought. Pattern isn't purpose. It might be, or it might be chemistry. Reflexes without reflection. Scientists have tested fungal memory, growing mycelium across barriers, removing the barriers. The fungi remember, grow faster across the space where barriers used to be, anticipating, or is it just physical changes in the network? Grooves worn, paths established, memory without mind, learning without consciousness, your own mind barely here now, thoughts like distant lights, flickering, going out, no memory needed, no anticipation, just the present moment, just breath, just darkness, thump, thump. When you place obstacles in front of growing mycelium, wooden blocks arranged like a maze, the fungus explores, extends threads into dead ends, withdraws, tries new paths. Eventually it finds the shortest route, the most efficient path, as if it solved the maze. But it didn't think it through. It grew. It explored all possibilities simultaneously, and the successful paths got reinforced. The mycelium is a living algorithm, parallel processing in slow motion, intelligence without intent. Let your own problem-solving cease. No mazes to solve, no paths to find, just rest, just drift. Floating in darkness like a spore on still air. Fungi experience time differently than you. Their processes unfold over hours, days, weeks. A mushroom cap opening is fast for fungi, an explosion of growth. But to you, it's slow, languid. You can watch and see nothing, come back hours later, and the mushroom has doubled in size. Their time is not your time. Now, your time is slowing, stretching, each second lasting longer, heavier, sinking into the deep time of sleep. The seasons turn, and fungi respond. In autumn, when leaves fall and rain returns, the forest floor erupts, mushrooms everywhere, clustering on logs, scattered in grass, pushing through leaf litter. This is their spring, their bloom time. The mycelium has been feeding all summer, storing energy, and now, when moisture and cooling temperatures align, it fruits, releases spores, millions of spores, before winter comes, before cold slows everything to near stillness. In winter, the mycelium slows but doesn't stop. Under snow, in frozen soil, the threads persist, growing infinitesimally slowly, waiting, patient. Some mushrooms actually fruit in winter, in cold. Flammulina veluteps, velvet shank, growing on dead wood even in freezing temperatures, bright orange caps, dark stems, alive while the forest sleeps, your body cooling slightly, as it does in sleep, temperature dropping half a degree, the body's night cycle, energy conserved, systems slowing, your winter now, quiet, still, waiting for nothing. After forest fires, after the flames pass and ash settles, certain mushrooms appear, morels, pushing up through charcoal and burnt earth. They thrive on fire, need it. The heat triggers their fruiting. The ash provides nutrients. They're called fire morels, spring up in burned forests, a gift after destruction. Foragers know this. Follow the fires. Search the scorched ground for these honeycomb treasures. Other fungi too, Foliata carbonaria, charcoal foliata, growing directly on burned wood. The fire clears competition, clears the underbrush, and the fire-adapted fungi rush in, claim the open space before thou'st rebounds, before other species return. They're specialists, thriving in catastrophe, in the brief window after flame. But your window is closing gently, eyelids, if they're not already shut, so heavy, vision darkening, or already dark. The boundary gone, between open and closed, between waking and sleep. Inside living trees, fungi grow, endophytes, fungal threads woven through healthy tissue, not harming, just existing, present. Some protect the tree, produce compounds that deter insects, that fight disease, a secret partnership, invisible. The tree tolerates the invasion, or doesn't notice, and the fungus gains shelter, gains slow access to sugars. Everyone benefits, or no one's harmed. The line blurs. This is the way of fungi, blurring lines between life and death, between plant and animal, between individual and network. They exist in thresholds, in liminal spaces, in the dark between, like sleep, that threshold state, neither awake nor truly gone, drifting. Wood decays, falls apart, becomes soft, becomes soil. This is fungal work. The mushrooms that grow on logs, on stumps, they're slowly dissolving, transforming solid into soft, lignin into simpler compounds. The wood decay fungi, brown rot species that consume cellulose and leave lignin, white rot species that break down everything, even the tough lignin polymers that most organisms can't touch. The log becomes lace, becomes holes, becomes nothing, becomes everything. Nutrients returned, your thoughts decaying now, dissolving, losing structure. The words in your mind, if there are still words, separating, becoming sounds, becoming nothing, just the drift, just the dark. The fungal kingdom, it's vast, more diverse than plants. Scientists estimate there are millions of fungal species, and we've identified maybe 5%, maybe the rest unknown, unnamed, fruiting in forests no one walks, growing in soil no one sampled, or too small, too rare, too strange to find. The world is more fungus than we know. The darkness holds more than we can count. Mushroom caps, gills, stems. These structures evolved for spore dispersal. The cap protects the gills, keeps them dry until conditions are right. The gills maximize surface area. Millions of basidia, each producing spores, releasing them into the slightest air current. The stem lifts the cap high enough, above grass, above leaf litter, into moving air. Everything optimized, everything purposeful, yet nothing planned. Some mushrooms have pores instead of gills, polypores, tiny holes beneath the cap, spores dropping through tubes. Others have teeth, hydnums, spines hanging down, spores coating the spines, each structure a solution to the same problem: how to release millions of spores, how to catch the wind. Your breath is wind, moving through you, carrying oxygen, carrying life, in, out, automatic, no thought required. The body knows, like mushrooms know when to fruit, like mycelium knows which direction to grow, knowledge without knowing. Fungi respond to stimuli, to light, though they don't photosynthesize. Some mushroom caps grow toward light, toward open space where spores can disperse better. They sense gravity, grow upward against it, stems lengthening, caps orienting. They respond to touch, to chemical signals, to moisture, to temperature, all without nerves, without brains. They are awareness without consciousness, response without thought, like your body now, responding to tiredness, to horizontal position, to darkness, producing melatonin, slowing heart rate, shifting into sleep mode. You're not deciding this, it's happening. The body's wisdom, deeper than thought, older than words. Some mushrooms bruise blue when damaged, when cut, when touched. The flesh oxidizes, chemical compounds transforming. Psilocybin mushrooms do this, the psilocybin converting to psilocin, a deeper blue. But other mushrooms bruise blue for different reasons, different chemistry. The color tells you something happened, cells ruptured, compounds mixed, but doesn't tell you which compounds, doesn't guarantee safety or danger. You have to know each species, each specific blue, colors in mushrooms, reds, purples, yellows, oranges. These are pigments, chemicals, some for protection from UV, some as warnings, some as lures. Red often means danger in nature, means poison, but not always. Some red mushrooms are choice edibles. Their color is a conversation between the fungus and the world, and we're learning to listen slowly, imperfectly. Your vision behind closed lids, colors maybe, phosphins, random firing, or just black, deep velvet black, the color of soil, of midnight, of the places where mushrooms grow, mushroom smells. These are volatile compounds released into air. Some smell sweet, maple syrup, butterscotch, candy cap mushrooms, Lactarius rubeatus and relatives. You can dry them, add them to desserts. The smell intensifies with drying. The sweetness comes from guabalactone, a maple-scented compound. The mushroom produces it for reasons unknown, and we harvest it, brew it, bake it, enjoy the accident of chemistry. Other mushrooms smell of almonds, benzaldehyde, the same compound in almond extract in cherry pits. Sometimes this means cyanide, sometimes not. This smell is a clue, not an answer. Like so many things about fungi, ambiguous, requiring study, requiring care. The stinkhorns we mentioned, their rotting smell, indole, scetolae, the same compounds that make feces smell, that draw flies. It's deeply unpleasant to human noses. We recoil, but flies land, eager, and the fungus doesn't care about human disgust, only about flies, only about spores travelling. The mushroom is indifferent to your reaction, to mine. It serves only itself, only reproduction, only the continuation of the mycelial network underground. Let disgust go. Let preference dissolve. In sleep, nothing smells, nothing offends. The senses shut down, one by one. First taste, then smell, then vision. Touch persists longest, the feel of sheets, of pillow, and then even that, fading, fading. Only awareness remains, dim, distant, maybe. Mushrooms and architecture. Humans are learning from mycelium, the way it grows, strong yet lightweight, interconnected. We're growing building materials from fungal mycelium, packing it into molds, letting it grow dense, then killing it, drying it. The result is strong, fire-resistant, compostable, a living material that becomes dead structure, like wood, but faster, more controllable. Mycelium leather, grown in sheets, a substitute for animal hide. The threads form a dense mat, can be treated, dyed, sewn. Fashion companies exploring this, seeking alternatives, reducing harm. The fungus grows fast, requires little space, little resources, just substrate, moisture, time. A few weeks and you have material that took a cow years to grow. But your time is not for growing, for producing. Your time now is for rest, for restoration, for the quiet repair that happens in sleep. Cells regenerating, memories consolidating. The body's own mycelial networks, neurons, blood vessels, all working in darkness, unconsciously, perfectly, sound. Mushrooms absorb sound. The mycelium, its structure, dampens vibration. In experiments, mycelium panels reduced noise, absorbed echoes. We might build with it, soundproof with it, use the quiet nature of fungi to create quiet spaces, walls that drink sound, that create the hush of deep forest, of underground. You're in that hush now, even if there's noise around you, traffic, voices, appliances. You're sinking below it, into your own quiet, your own interior silence, where nothing disturbs, nothing intrudes. Thump, thump, just heartbeat, just breath, just the minimum, the essential. Ancient mushrooms, older than you can imagine. Paleopyronomycetes devonicus, a fungus preserved in 400-million-year-old rock from the Devonian, when the first forests were just beginning, when insects were just evolving wings. The fungus is there in the fossil, perfect, recognizable, still fungus, still mycelium. The form works, has always worked. In amber from Myanmar, a mushroom preserved mid-growth, 99 million years ago, Cretaceous period, dinosaurs walking overhead, and this mushroom pushing up through leaf litter, getting caught in tree resin, trapped, frozen in time. Now we can study it, see the gills, count the spores. It's a time capsule, a message from deep time. I am fungus. I persist, I transform, I continue, and you continue too. Breath after breath, heartbeat after heartbeat, ancient rhythms, the same patterns that moved through that Cretaceous mushroom, through every living thing. Thump, 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 steady, endless, until it stops. But not tonight, not now. Now there's only the continuing, the drift, the descent into sleep, mass extinctions. The planet has suffered 5 major ones, and fungi, they survive, they thrive. When the end Permian extinction killed 90% of species 252 million years ago, fungi exploded. Fossil records show a spike, a bloom. They feasted on the dead, on the fallen, turned catastrophe into opportunity. The world died, and mushrooms inherited the corpses, broke them down, returned them, prepared the ground for what came next. After the asteroid, after the dinosaurs fell, again, fungal abundance spiked. The world darkened. Photosynthesis stopped, and fungi, they don't need light. They need only death, only organic matter, and suddenly there was so much. Fungi don't mourn, don't fear. They transform, always transform. Patient, inevitable. Your own small transformations happening now. Proteins being synthesized, damaged DNA being repaired, waste products being cleared from your brain. This is what sleep is for. Maintenance, restoration. The body knows, works in darkness, in unconsciousness, doing what needs doing. You don't have to supervise, don't have to help, just sleep, just allow. Mushrooms have been to space, sent up in experiments to see how they grow in microgravity on the ISS. In the space shuttle, the mycelium grows differently without gravity, spreads in 3 dimensions more evenly. The mushrooms, when they fruit, orient randomly, no up or down to guide them. They grew, they fruited. Confused perhaps, if fungi can be confused as functional, alive, adaptable. Future space missions might carry fungi, might use them. Mycelium could grow habitats on Mars, on the Moon, fed on human waste, on regolith, growing structures, producing food, cleaning air. The astronauts and the fungi, partners, like trees and mycorrhizae, like termites and tomatomyces, an old relationship, transplanted to new worlds, to red soil, to airless stone. But you're not going to space. You're going deeper into Earth, into your own ground, sinking, heavier, bones settling, muscles releasing, every cell softening, becoming heavy, becoming still. Fungi and immune systems, your immune system, right now, in your gut, on your skin, millions of fungal cells, Candida, Malassezia, others, usually harmless, kept in check, balanced. But if the balance breaks, if bacteria die from antibiotics, if immune function drops, the fungi can overgrow, can cause problems, thrush, infections. They're opportunists, waiting, always present, usually invisible. but other fungi support immunity. Beta-glucans in mushroom cell walls, these complex sugars, they stimulate immune cells, activate macrophages. Some mushrooms, metache, shiitake, turkey tail, are studied for immune support, for cancer patients, for people with HIV. The research is ongoing, promising in some cases, disappointing in others. The fungi might help, might not. Each case different, each body different. Your body needs no help tonight, only rest, only the dark hours to do its work. The immune system patrolling, cleaning, checking, finding the rare cancer cell, the infected cell, removing it, protecting you, while you sleep, while you drift, unaware, safe. Beetles and fungi, bark beetles, they bore into trees, carry fungal spores with them. The fungi grow in the beetle galleries, the tunnels, help break down wood, help feed beetle larvae, or the beetles eat the fungus itself, farming it like termites, like leaf-cutter ants. The partnership is specific. Each beetle with its fungi, each fungus with its beetle, co-evolved, codependent. The trees suffer, killed by beetle and fungus together. Forests of dead pines, grey, standing, beetle killed. But this too is transformation, not tragedy. The dead trees become habitat, become nurse logs, eventually become soil. The fungi spread, the beetles spread, and after them, after the death, new growth, new forest, different perhaps, but forest nonetheless. Nothing is permanent, not trees, not forests, not thoughts, not wakefulness. Everything transforms, everything passes. Let it pass, let it go, drift with it, into change, into sleep. Mushrooms as food for animals. Deer browse them, squirrels cache them, bears eat them, digging them up, seeking calories before hibernation. Slugs. Oh, slugs love mushrooms, leaving silver trails across caps, across stems, devouring. The mushrooms lose tissue, lose spore production, but perhaps the slugs spread spores too, in their slime, in their droppings. Perhaps it's partnership, or perhaps just predation. The line blurs. Birds, some species, recognize mushrooms, pluck them, eat them. The fly agaric, Amanita muscaria, toxic to humans, but some birds tolerate it, eat the insects that gather on it, or eat the mushroom itself, drugged, flying strangely. The fungus doesn't care about the bird, about the effect. It only grows, only spreads, only continues. Your own continuation assured, heart beating, lungs breathing, blood flowing, all the automatic systems running, maintaining, protecting. You don't have to think about them, don't have to will them. They continue, like mycelium continues, growing, always growing, even when you forget it's there. Fungi shaping ecosystem, keystone species. When you remove fungi from a forest, experimentally, everything changes. Tree growth slows, diversity drops, nutrient cycling breaks down, the forest limps along, diminished, and when fungi are restored, the forest recovers, resilience returns. The mushrooms are invisible glue, holding the system together, connecting, supporting, transforming. Grasslands too, prairies. Most prairie plants have mycorrhizal partners, trading nutrients, storing carbon in soil. When grasslands are ploughed, the fungal networks are destroyed. The soil loses structure, loses carbon. The land becomes fragile, easily eroded. The fungi were the foundation, and we removed them thoughtlessly. But restoration is possible. Fungi recolonize when land is protected. When native plants return, the mycelium spreads, slowly, decade by decade. The fungal networks rebuild, and the ecosystem strengthens, heals. It takes time, patience. The fungi know patience, have always known. Your own patience with yourself now, not forcing sleep, not straining, just allowing, resting, breathing, letting the process unfold, naturally, inevitably. Sleep comes when it comes, when the body is ready, when the mind releases. Soon, soon. Climate change, warming temperatures, changing rainfall, and fungi respond. Some species shifting ranges, moving north, moving uphill, seeking familiar temperatures, familiar moisture. Others declining, losing habitat, fruiting less, or not at all. Scientists are tracking, documenting, trying to understand what happens when fungal networks break down, when partnerships collapse. The forests will change, are changing, might become something else, something new, or something barren. Time will tell. The fungi will tell us if we pay attention. But tonight is not for worry, not for future, not for problems you cannot solve. Tonight is for rest, for the small restoration of one body, one mind, sinking, releasing, letting go of everything, even the mushrooms, even the facts, even the words. Let them dissolve, like mycelium dissolving wood, becoming simpler. Simpler until only the basic remains, only breath, only darkness, only the quiet. So quiet now, like deep soil, like the space between roots where mycelium grows, undisturbed, unnoticed. The world above forgotten, irrelevant. Down here, in the dark, nothing matters but the slow processes, the patient transformations, breath, pulse, the drift toward nothing, toward everything. Fungi as climate stabilizers. They store carbon, massive amounts. The mycelium networks, they hold carbon in soil, keep it underground, locked away. Trees pull carbon from air, share it with fungi, and the fungi weave it into soil structure, into glomalin, a protein that binds soil particles, that stores carbon for decades, centuries. The fungi are quiet heroes, unpraised, uncelebrated, doing the work of climate regulation, of carbon sequestration, while we debate, while we burn, while we worry. Your own carbon, the carbon in your body, breathed in by plants, eaten by you, becoming you, temporarily, until you exhale, until you die, until fungi break you down too, return you to soil, to air, to the cycle. Nothing separate, nothing permanent, all flow, all transformation, thump, 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 the pulse slowing, the fungal internet theory, the idea that forests communicate through mycelial networks. It caught fire, captured imagination, mother trees nurturing seedling, forests as superorganisms. It's beautiful, poetic, and partly true. Trees do connect, nutrients do flow, but the mycelium isn't altruistic, isn't a postal service. It takes its share, more than its share sometimes. It's a trader, an opportunist, not a messenger. The forest is connected, yes, but the connection is commerce, not conversation, chemistry, not consciousness. And yet, there's something there. Electrical signals, resource sharing, network responses, something we don't fully understand, something that resembles intelligence without being intelligence, function without thought, complexity without mind. The mushrooms don't need consciousness to be extraordinary, don't need thought to be worthy of wonder. Your own thought, barely there now. Fragments, images without meaning, sounds without words. The pre-sleep state, hypnagogia, where logic dissolves, where anything seems possible, where mushrooms might think, where fungi might dream. Drift with it. Don't question, don't analyze, just be in the dissolve, in the between. Mushroom life cycles, from spore to spore, completion. A spore lands, germinates, sends out hyphae, thread thin, growing, branching. Two compatible hyphae meet, fuse, become eukaryotic, now carrying 2 nuclei per cell. The network grows, spreads, feeds, stores energy, and then, when conditions align, it fruits, pushes up a mushroom. In the gills, in the pores, the nuclei finally fuse. Undergo meiosis, create new spores. 4 spores per basidium, millions of basidia, billions of spores, released, drifting. The cycle completes, begins again, endless, patient, ancient. Your own cycles, waking, sleeping, waking, sleeping, day after day, year after year. The pattern continues, will continue until it doesn't. But not tonight. Tonight the cycle is just sleep, deep sleep, the tide pulling you under, no resistance, no fear, just the natural descent into restoration, into darkness. Some mushrooms live for days, a week, then collapse, dissolve, consumed by bacteria, by other fungi, ink caps, Caprinus species. They liquefy, drip black spore-laden ink, auto-digesting, from mushroom to puddle in hours, built to self-destruct, to scatter spores in the final dissolve. Dramatic, effective, temporary. Other mushrooms persist, bracket fungi, polypores on trees. They can live for years, decades, adding a new layer of tubes each year, like tree rings. You can count the layers, read the age. Some are 50 years old, 100, growing slowly, releasing spores season after season, patient, enduring. The mycelium itself might be immortal or near enough, as long as there's food, space, moisture. It continues, growing, spreading. The largest organism on Earth, they say, is a fungus, Armillaria ostoii, in Oregon, stretching for miles underground, perhaps thousands of years old. One organism, one genetic individual, vast, ancient, patient, consuming forests slowly, root by root, tree by tree. A predator so slow you can't see it move. Your own movement, stopped now. Body still, only breath, only heartbeat, only the tiny movements of blood, of lymph, of electrical signals in nerves, firing more slowly, more quietly. The body settling into its minimum, its maintenance mode, everything non-essential, shut down, saved for tomorrow, for waking, for motion. People fear mushrooms sometimes, fear the unknown ones, the toxic ones, the way they appear overnight, the way they dissolve, the associations with decay, with death, with the dark. But mushrooms are decay, are death, are darkness, and these aren't evil. These are necessary, beautiful, essential. Without decay, no growth. Without death, no room for life. Without darkness, no rest, no sleep, no dreams. Embrace the decay of wakefulness, the death of the day, the darkness of sleep. They're gifts, not threats, transformation, not ending. Let the day die, let it dissolve, like mushroom flesh, like fallen logs, returning to soil, to possibility, to tomorrow. But tomorrow is far, so far. There's only now, only this moment, this breath, this slow fade into nothing, into everything. Foraging traditions. Humans have foraged mushrooms for thousands of years. Ancient practices stretching back to Paleolithic times, when early peoples gathered wild fungi for food, medicine, and spiritual rites, reading the forest, learning the seasons, knowing where morels appear after fire, where chanterelles grow under oaks, where matsutake hide in pine duff. This is knowledge passed down, generation to generation, grandmother to grandchild, walking together, looking, learning. The mushrooms don't change, but the forests do, and foragers adapt, learn new spots, new patterns. The tradition continues, changes, continues. In some cultures, us in mushroom foraging is competition, secret spots guarded jealously. In others, it's communal, everyone shares. Slavic and Baltic families turn it into cherished outings. Eastern Europeans celebrate it as heritage, while Nordic shamans once sought fungi for divine connection. The mushrooms don't care. They grow where they grow, fruit when they fruit, indifferent to human customs, to human conflicts. They serve only themselves, only reproduction, only the mycelial network waiting underground. Your own conflicts, let them go. All the day's tensions, the words said or unsaid, the things done or left undone, none of it matters here. In the dark, in the quiet, all is forgiven, all is forgotten. The body doesn't judge, doesn't hold grudges. It only seeks equilibrium, balance, rest. Let your mind learn from your body. Let it release. Let it rest. Mushroom identification. It's complex, requires attention, cap color, gill attachment, spore print, smell, habitat, season. All must be considered. A mistake can be fatal. Death caps look innocent, taste fine reportedly, and then liver and kidneys fail, toxins unrelenting even after cooking. But here's the thing, the mystery. Most mushrooms haven't killed anyone. Most are simply unknown, untested. We don't know if they're edible because no one's tried, or those who tried didn't report back. The fungal kingdom is mostly unexplored, mostly mysterious, mostly waiting. Like sleep, mostly mysterious. We know some things. REM cycles, memory consolidation, cellular repair. But why we sleep, truly why, remains unclear. The brain does something in sleep, something essential, something we can't replicate awake. Whatever it is, it's happening now, in you, the mystery working, the darkness healing. Trust it, trust the process. Older than humanity, older than consciousness, ancient as life itself. Fungi before plants? Yes. They colonized land first, or among the first. Perhaps 1 billion years ago, long before plants rooted, breaking down rock, creating soil, making it possible for plants to follow. 400 million years ago, the first forests and the fungi already there, already networked, already transforming. They've been Earth's decomposers, Earth's transformers, since the beginning. They'll likely be here at the end, breaking down whatever remains. Patient, thorough, inevitable. Your own end, not tonight, not for years, decades perhaps. But when it comes, fungi will take you too, return you to soil, to the cycle. It's not morbid, not scary. It's natural, beautiful even. The ultimate transformation. Ego dissolved, body dispersed, becoming food, becoming forest, becoming everything. But it's later, so much later. Now there's only this rest, this small death of consciousness called sleep, sweet, necessary, approaching, here. The electrical signals in mycelium. Researchers measured them, found patterns, spikes of activity. Could this be communication? Could fungi have language? The patterns are complex, variable. Almost 50 different signal types identified. Complexity suggesting what? Intent, information transfer, or just chemical reactions, electrical gradients, pattern without meaning. We want to find consciousness, want to find kinship, but maybe it's enough that fungi respond, adapt, survive, without needing to think, without needing to know. Your own knowing, fading. What's your name? Where are you? What day is it? The questions drift by, unanswered, unimportant. Identity loosening is becoming less solid. You're not your name, not your worries, or not your story, else you're just this breath, warmth, presence, fading into the common darkness, the shared night. Seasonal cycles, Mushrooms know them. Fruit in autumn, die back in winter, return in spring. Some of them. The mycelium persists, underground, waiting, patient. It doesn't count days, doesn't watch calendars. It responds to temperature, to moisture, to chemical cues we're only beginning to understand. When the time is right, it knows and acts, fruiting, spreading, continuing. Seasonal cycles. They weave through the earth like silent threads. Mushrooms sense them without eyes or ears, fruiting in the hush of autumn. Caps unfurling under damp leaves, a burst of life from decay. Then winter claims them, frost-etching patterns on fragile stems. They retreat, but not gone. Mycelium lingers below, patient, enduring, roots of the unseen world, waiting for spring's whisper. Some return, others vanish into memory. The rhythm persists, nature's quiet pulse. Mushrooms that appear once a year, elusive visitors, like the mamarang in Singapore. Blooming only in August and September, a fleeting feast, edible, seasonal, tied to rain's cadence. Or the spring wild ones, Enokitaki emerging first, velvet shanks in cold snaps, before morels dare to show, dryads saddle on dying elms, pheasant patterns etched in polypore, shaggy manes after heavy rains. Any season, but once a year in some spots. Black morels darkening with age, ridges like ancient maps, chanterelles under oaks, symbiotic secrets, inky caps generalists, appearing wherever, yet predictable in their unpredictability. Fairy rings expanding annually, mycelium pushing outward, a circle of fruit, 30 billion spores a day from one conch. Artist conch spewing life, returning to the same stump. Year after, the mycelium remembers, underground, plotting the next emergence. Rare and endangered fungi, shadows in the undergrowth, critically endangered, vulnerable. Lists grow. IUCN red list swells. 48 critically endangered, 136 endangered, 234 vulnerable, from Afrothismia fungiformis in Cameroon to Podocerpla miranda in New Caledonia, boreal felt lichen in Canada. Blood-stained orchids wait, but fungi slip through. No Endangered Species Act listings, yet vital. Largest organism debates aside, overlooked. West Coast rare. 10 challenge seeks them. Citizen scientists hunt. Pink waxcaps vulnerable. Violet corals rare. Ancient grasslands indicators. Snow leopards of the fungal world. International responsibility. Boletus chilensis in Chile. Hongo del Coco, red listed in Australia. Oroscalpium spiatnovasa blackwood, endangered. Clostula fischeri, fisher's egg. Shaggy ink caps least concern, but many vanish unseen. Habitats lost. Deforestation, pollution, climate shifts. We guard plants, animals. It's as fungi fade, silent, essential. Decomposers, symbionts, ignored in conservation. Time to list them, protect them, before they're ghosts. The largest organism on Earth, not whale, not tree, a fungus, Armillaria ostoyae, honey mushroom, humongous, sprawling under Malheur National Forest, Oregon, 3.5 square miles, 2,200 acres, 35,000 tons, 8,000 years old, perhaps rhizomorphs like shoestrings, black threads bridging gaps, killing conifers, root disease, swaths of dead trees, visible from above, mycelium vast, underground empire, rivaled by Posidonia australis seagrass, but fungus claims mass, area, age. Pando aspen grove contends, but armillaria wins debates. Discovered 1998, record holder, blue whale dwarfs in comparison, 200 tons max, fungus 35,000, biomass king, oldest 2,400 to 8,650 years, spreading slow, dry climate aids, no competition, spores struggle, old timer thrives, Michigan's Armillaria gallica, 91 acres, but Oregon's beast reigns, humongous fungus, world's largest living thing, hidden, powerful, reshaping forests, giant underground fungi, mycelium networks, wood wide web, hyphae threading soil, fine filaments, connecting roots, trading nutrients, carbon, nitrogen, water. German forester's term, Peter Wohlleben, subterranean social network, nearly 500 million years old, global map emerging, mycorrhizal fungi, partnering plants, ectomycorrhizas on pines, oaks, symbionts, waves venturing to loops forming superhighways, bidirectional flows, carbon shuttling, phosphorus too, common mycorrhizal networks, CMNs, debated, cooperative, competitive, protecting pests, pathogens, Society for Protection of Underground Networks, spun, mapping, billions tons CO2 sequestered, 450 quadrillion kilometers, half Milky Way's width, niche constructors, shaping evolution, ancient, adaptive, expanding laughter, music, religion, pro-social bonds, humongous examples, Armillaria, Posidonia rivals, but fungi run world, little things. E.O. Wilson said, decomposers, recyclers, hidden influencers, mushrooms and human consciousness. Psilocybin whispers, ancient catalyst, stoned ape theory, Terence McKenna's idea, hominids nibbling, 6 million years back, enhancing cognition, visual acuity, edge detection, better hunters, reproduction boosts, low doses improve mood, medium alter states, high doses dissolve ego, space-time distortions, serotonin 2A receptors, default mode network desynchronizes, frontal connectivity surges, awareness expands, entropic brain, less constrained, creativity flows, introspection deepens, abstract thinking, language perhaps, evolutionary edge, Joe Rogan echoes, but evidence builds, millions years influence, consciousness origins, magic mushrooms shaped minds, euphoria, hallucinations, lasting effects, depression lifts, anxiety fades, terminal cancer patients find peace, mystical experiences robust, reductions profound. Roland Fisher's studies, edge, psilocybin's gift, dreamlike states and fungi, psychedelics blur lines, psilocybin mimics REM, brain patterns echo dreams, high lucidity, vivid, emotional, thematic, LSD, psilocin, DMT, serotonin surges, decoupling networks, entropic mind, unconstrained, illusions, synesthesia, time bends, space warps, eyes closed, imagery vivid, Lilliputian hallucinations, Lanmaua Asiatica, Yunnan, tiny people marching, fairy tale visions, no known compounds, mystery chemical, ego dissolution, out of body, euphoria to terror, nausea, heart races, zombie fungi fiction, but real inspire, cordyceps mind control ants, not humans, ayahuasca DMT, dreamlike awake, ketamine closer NDEs, psilocybin reduces sleep, delays REM, yet induces states, waking dreams, vivid sensory, familiar faces, objects, highly colourful, altered phenomenology, similar to psychosis, yet therapeutic, unlocking subconscious, fungi's ancient key, mushrooms in modern science, mycology awakens, biotechnology harnesses, edible, medicinal, enzymes factories, antibiotics, immunosuppressants, cholesterol drugs, insulin, prebiotics, sustainable, biomanufacturing, mycelium materials, bioleather, meat alternatives, protein ethical, high quality, bioremediation, plastic breakdown, Pestilentiopsis microspora, polyurethane eater, biofuels, ethanol fermenters, turkey tail activates immunity, cancer fighter, CRISPR edits, synthetic mycology, heterologous hosts, BGCs expressed, unculturable fungi yield, genomics predicts, phylogenomics advances, functional genomics unravels, adaptations, interactions, metagenomics ecosystems, moonshot St. Jude, fungal infections tackle, diagnostics, antifungals, resistance mechanisms, interdisciplinary, AI optimizes, genetic engineering nutrients boost, sensory qualities, future fungal, fungi we still don't understand. Mysteries abound. Dark fungi lurk. DNA fragments everywhere. Unidentified 95% universe dark matter parallel. Little things run world. E.O. Wilson. Decomposers vital, yet cryptic. Lifestyles obscure. Rediscovery rates high. Known functions inferred. Relatives hint. But left field baffles, zombie fungi fiction, but real cordyceps, ants controlled, brains rewired, not mammals, yet climate change expands, infections rise, emerging diseases, medical mycology moonshot, resistance grows, trade spreads, environmental degradation, viruses alter impacts, unknown species millions, 90% undiscovered, behaviors puzzle, shapes recognized, decisions made, memories held, no brains, mycelium intelligence, eerie efficiency, supply chains hyper efficient, robot tracks trades, carbon, nutrients, past billions years, ocean mysteries, cephalopods wait, eukaryotic enigmas, fungal secrets deep, why mushrooms remain mysterious, uncanny, school skips them, fleeting evidence, folklore fears, toadstools poisonous, witches brew, dark, damp, precarious, sinister, elusive, dangerous, fairy tales worn, appear overnight, fairy rings, spirits dance, no source obvious, apples upside down, fruiting bodies only, mycelium hidden, vast, upside down trees, pop up sudden, rain triggers, no time waste, dry looms, misunderstood, plants, animals, neither, closer kinus, genetically, misclassified, disgust dismissed, Western bias, mycophobia, Last of Us scares, zombie fiction, but functions vital, re-emerging, cultural moment, yet terms own elusive, measurements limited, mysteries dwell, without conclusions tidy, morals associations opaque, wood break down, resources transfer, partial, fungi rule secretly, yes, moonshot needed, protect, understand, before lost. The future of fungal discovery, mycology surges, threats loom, infections accelerate, moonshot calls, diagnostics advance, antifungals new, resistance mechanisms unravel, interdisciplinary, AI aids, genetic engineering optimizes, sustainable agriculture, soil health, ecosystem restoration, phylogenomics, functional genomics, synthetic mycology, biofactories, vaccines oral, proteins recombinant, grass status, eukaryotic processing, bioencapsulation, climate sensitive, boreal endophytes vulnerable, biodiversity loss, protect networks, fungal futures, materials, food, medicine, innovations 2024, rare rediscoveries, environmental breakthroughs, medical advances, cultural shifts, fungi key, sustainable development, unlock potentials, mission describe all, global collaboration, big data, new technology, horizons bright, mysteries unveil, fungi lead way, symbiosis whispers, mycorrhizae entwine, 500 million years, roots embrace hyphae, nutrients swap, phosphorus for carbon, 90% plants partner, wood wide web pulses, signals travel, warnings, resources shared, competition too, protection from pests, pathogens, fungi guard, ancient alliances, evolution shaped, boreal biome depends, climate shifts threaten, endophytes sensitive, biodiversity at stake, lose them, ecosystems falter, fungi heal, antibiotics birth, penicillin mold, lifesavers, immunosuppressants, cholesterol fighters, cancer battlers, turkey tail boosts immunity, reishi calms, lion's mane nerves, future drugs brew, BGC's mind, CRISPR edits, novel compounds await, uncultured yield, heterologous hosts, dark fungi secrets, environmental DNA hints, roles inferred, decomposers supreme, recyclers, soil builders, without them, world stalls, bioremediation heroes, plastic devourers, pestilociopsis, polyurethane feast, oil spills cleaned, heavy metals bound, radiation absorbed, Chernobyl fungi thrive, melanin shields, space possibilities, astronauts protected, Mars colonized, mycelium structures, self-healing, grown habitats, sustainable, Earth 2, myco-architecture, bricks from waste, fire-resistant, insulating, meat alternatives, protein-rich, ethical, low-water, mycoworks leather, fungi fashion, packaging biodegradable, foam replacements, ecovative leads, future fungal, innovations endless, mysteries persist, but discoveries dawn, mycology moonshot, St. Jude tackles, global threats, trade spreads, climate aids, resistance rises, coordinated efforts, inventories complete, FTOL reconstructed, multi-omics reveals, metagenomics maps, AI predicts, Synthetic biology harnesses fungi's kingdom, vast, vital, veiled no more. Edible delights, Agaricus bisporus, button common, Lentinula edodes, shiitake savory, Pleurotus austriatus, oyster versatile, Flammulina velutipes, inoki crisp, Volvariella volvacea, straw mushroom, Ganoderma lucidum, reishi medicinal, Cordyceps sinensis, caterpillar fungus, Grifola frondosa, Meitake flavorful, Psilocybe cubensis, psychedelic, bioactive treasures, nutrients essential, organoleptic pleasures, global market booms, Asia dominates, China leads, biotechnology applications, strains improved, sustainable cultivation, energy saved, water economized, food security, nutritional boost, future fungal foods, engineered, fortified, crises avert, fungi feed world, heal it, mysteries solved, potentials unlocked, cycle continues, seasonal, eternal, mushrooms rise, again. From soil to tree, forest to river, mountain to plain. Mycelium connects worlds, transporting nutrients, linking life across boundaries. Invisible threads tie together distant places, a hidden continuity pulsing beneath our feet. You don't need to know when to sleep. Your body knows, tells you. Heavy eyelids, slower thoughts, yawning. The signals are clear, have been clear, and you're listening. Finally, sinking, allowing the body's wisdom, older than your conscious mind, more trustworthy. Let it guide you down, deeper, into the rest you need, the rest you've earned. Mushrooms after extinction, thriving in catastrophe. Perhaps that's their superpower, flexibility, adaptability. They don't need specific conditions, specific partnerships. They adjust, consume what's available, spread where they can. When the world ends, they begin again, patient, inevitable. Life feeding on death, transformation continuing, no pause, no mourning, just the work, always the work. But tonight, no endings, no catastrophes, just peace, just quiet, just the soft continuation of breath, of pulse, of existence at its most basic, most essential. You're alive, you're safe, you're held by darkness, by silence, by the vast indifference of the universe. And that indifference, it's not cruel, it's freedom. No one's watching, no one's judging. You can simply be, simply rest. Fungi and ants, we mentioned this, but consider 50 million years, the partnership between leafcutter ants and their fungi, 50 million years of coevolution, of mutual dependence. The ants can't survive without the fungus. The fungus can't survive without the ants. They're locked together. One organism in two bodies, the boundary blurred, the separation questionable. Are you separate from the bacteria in your gut, the mitochondria in your cells? Are you one organism or a colony, a partnership? You're more bacteria cells than human cells, more foreign DNA than your own. You're an ecosystem, a walking partnership, like the ants, like the fungi, like everything. Nothing alone, nothing separate, all connection, all collaboration, all transformation. Let the illusion of separation dissolve. Feel yourself merging with the bed, with the room, with the darkness. Boundaries softening. Where do you end? Where does the world begin? The question fades, becomes irrelevant. There's only this totality, this oneness. No inside, no outside, just being, just existence, flowing, endless. Thump, thump, thump. Slower, quieter, distant. Mushrooms in fashion, mycelium leather. We mentioned this too, but think, wearing a fungus, growing your clothes, your shoes, your bags, from substrate to fashion in weeks, using what was waste, sawdust, agricultural byproducts. The fungoearth transforms it, makes it useful, beautiful even. We're learning, finally, to partner with fungi, to use their transformation, their patient work, for our needs, for our world. The future might be fungal, buildings grown, not built, materials that compost, that return, that don't persist as trash, as pollution. Fungi offering solutions, if we listen, if we learn, if we partner rather than dominate. The mushrooms have been here, teaching, waiting for us to understand. But understanding can wait, learning can wait, everything can wait except rest, except sleep. The body's need, simple, clear, insistent. Give in, stop resisting, stop thinking, just be tired, be heavy, be done with the day, done with doing, with trying, with being awake. Let it end, let it go. Glowing mushrooms. We talked about those too. Bioluminescence, green light in darkness. Imagine a forest at night, no moon, and the fallen logs glowing, soft green, like foxfire, ghost light. The mushrooms don't glow for you, for anyone. They glow because chemistry, because luciferin, because maybe no reason at all, just accident, just byproduct, but beautiful. Beautiful regardless. Your own light, your consciousness, dimming now, like bioluminescence fading at dawn, growing fainter, fainter, soon. Darkness, complete darkness, inner darkness, the void of sleep. Nothing frightening, nothing wrong, just the natural fade, the normal cycle. Light to dark, waking to sleeping, day to night, the rhythm of everything, of planets, of stars, of you. Cave fungi, growing where no light reaches. We mentioned those, but think about it. The absolute darkness, the complete absence of photosynthesis, everything down there, all energy, comes from outside, from the surface, carried by water, by animals, by falling debris. The fungi in caves, they're patient beyond imagining, waiting, sometimes years, for nutrients to arrive, for the chance to grow. And when it comes, they do, slow, efficient, surviving in scarcity, in darkness absolute. They prove life doesn't need light, doesn't need abundance, just persistence, patience, the will to continue, even in nothing, even in dark. You're in your own cave now, your own darkness, your own internal space, sealed off from the world, from stimulation, from demand. This is your time, your darkness, your rest. Nothing required, nothing expected, just being, just existing, in the quiet, in the dark, in the drift. Fungal memory. We touched on this. The experiments, the learning, but it's strange, unsettling even yet, to think of memory without mind, of learning without consciousness. The mycelium encounters a pattern and changes and remembers, and next time responds differently. Its memory, encoded in structure, in the physical network, not in neurons, not in synapses, but somehow still memory, still learning. Maybe memory doesn't require mind. Maybe learning is just change in response to experience. The universe learns, in a way. Stars learn to fuse helium after hydrogen runs out. Ecosystems learn to rebound after fire, after flood, learning without thought. Everywhere, always. And you, learning to sleep, learning to let go, learning to trust the darkness. Not intellectual learning, body learning, deep learning, ancient, pre-verbal, pre-thought, mushrooms and climate change, warming, drying, changing. The fungi respond, migrate, adapt, or die. Some species declining, ranges shrinking, others expanding, thriving in new conditions. The planet is changing, and the fungi change with it. They'll survive. They always survive. But which ones? Which partnerships? Which forests? That's being decided now, in soil, in mycelium, in the slow responses we can't see, can't measure, can't predict. Your own changes, happening now, temperature dropping, melatonin rising, heart rate slowing, blood pressure falling, the shift into sleep, into restoration. Changes you don't control, don't decide, just allow, just experience, just drift with. Mushroom spore dispersal. We've talked about wind, about animals, but think about rain. Rain hitting a mushroom cap, the impact, launching spores into air, droplets carrying them away, splashing them onto nearby leaves, onto insects. The rain seems like it would harm the mushrooms, but they use it, evolved to use it. Every drop, a launching pad, every storm, an opportunity, adaptation, transformation, turning challenge into advantage. Let challenges drift away, any discomfort, any itch, any thought that disturbs. Just note it and let it go, like a spore on wind, carried away, gone. Nothing needs fixing, nothing needs addressing, not now, not in sleep. Just let everything be imperfect, incomplete, and be okay with that. Be at peace with that. Reishi mushrooms, the mushroom of immortality. We mentioned glossy, red, beautiful, growing on dead trees, on stumps, revered in Asia for thousands of years, for longevity, for health, for spiritual potency. The science is mixed, some effects, some benefits, but nothing miraculous. No immortality, no magic, just a mushroom producing compounds, some helpful, some not, some unknown, mushrooms that change colour as they age. Caps shift from white to gold, brown to crimson, a silent transformation marking time. At first, they are pale, almost shy, emerging quietly from the soil. As days pass, subtle pigments deepen, the edges curl and the gills darken. Every shade is a signal, a readiness to release spores, a story of survival written in colour. Observing them is like watching time pass slowly, the forest's clock measured in gradual brushstrokes of growth and decay. Fungi that grow in total darkness. No sun, no moon, only the deep shadow of caves or buried logs. Yet mycelium threads weave, spores swell, and caps push upward, defying absence. Darkness is not emptiness, it is shelter, a womb for quiet expansion. Every inch of growth is guided by moisture, temperature, and the subtle pull of unseen nutrients. In these unseen worlds, life thrives without light, proof that existence is not bound to the visible, but to persistence and resilience. Mushrooms that taste of the forest itself, bitter, earthy, sweet. Each bite carries a memory of rainfall, decaying leaves, soil dampened by morning mist, moss clinging to stones. The flavour is not just chemical, but a story, a concentrated essence of place. Eating these mushrooms is tasting the forest's slow rhythm, the life cycles, the decay, the renewal, captured in a single cap, a small testament to the hidden pulse of the woods. Fungi that heal broken trees, a wound in bark, a rot spreading, and mycelium threads in. They weave silently through damaged fibres, stabilizing the structure, slowing decay, strengthening what remains. Invisible surgeons, meticulous and patient, they knit what is broken into continuity. Over weeks and months, their work restores balance, foresting a quiet resilience that often goes unnoticed, yet sustains life for years to come. Mushrooms that appear only after fog. Mist settles over the forest. Droplets cling to leaves and moss, the air heavy with water, and then, slowly, stems pierce soil and leaf litter, caps unfold, spores prepare for release. Fog is more than moisture. It is a signal, a curtain lifting, a cue to emerge. The mushrooms respond, sensing the subtle weight and pressure of the air, turning ephemeral weather into a trigger for life. Fungi that live symbiotically with animals. Ants farm them, termites nurture them, insects carry them. Mycelium threads weave through soil, through leaf litter, and sometimes even inside the homes of these creatures. Life is interdependent, thriving because others exist, not despite them. The mushroom is never truly alone. It is part of a network, a web of exchange, communication, and mutual survival, where every action of another species ripples through fungal growth. Mushrooms that dissolve in rain, caps swell with moisture, spores launch, and stems collapse, returning almost immediately to the earth. Impermanence is their strategy. Fleeting existence is the method of propagation. A single storm becomes a performance, growth, reproduction, dissolution. Nature teaches that even the briefest life can leave a legacy, that fragility is a form of resilience, and surrender can be generative. Fungi that mimic other organisms, a cap shaped like a leaf, a stalk resembling a twig, even fungi that imitate insects. deception is woven into survival. Predators are fooled, insects misled, humans unaware. Each mimicry is a slow, precise adaptation, refined over generations. The forest becomes a stage of illusions where survival depends on subtlety, timing, and the art of quiet disguise. Mushrooms that appear only in winter. Frostbites, snow settles, yet stems push through frozen soil, caps unfurling in silence. Life persists when most seems still. Every winter mushroom is proof that growth does not wait for warmth, that cycles continue even under ice and snow. Their emergence is a quiet pulse of vitality in a season dominated by stillness, a reminder that life always finds a way. Fungi that bridge ecosystems, from soil to tree, forest to river, mountain to plain. Mycelium threads extend invisibly, transporting nutrients, signaling danger, linking life across boundaries. These networks create hidden continuity, a silent choreography of life connecting distant places. Every mushroom that appears above ground is a small manifestation of this vast interwoven system, a bridge between worlds we can see and those we cannot. Mushrooms growing through asphalt, concrete above, cars passing, sun beating down, yet a tiny stem pushes through cracks, unrelenting. Asphalt seems permanent, unyielding, but life doesn't negotiate with limits. Slowly, persistently, the mushroom emerges, turning hardness into passage, stubbornness into emergence. Fungi that glow only when touched. A hand brushes past a cap, a leaf falls, and suddenly soft light shimmers. The glow is not constant, not for show, but responsive. A living signal, a whispered acknowledgement of contact, as if the mushroom notices your presence and folds its radiance around it. Mushrooms that mimic leaves. Look closely and you might mistake them for fallen foliage. Veins, edges, subtle browns and greens. Camouflage so perfect it fools the eye. Predators, insects, humans, all unaware. Survival hides in illusion, in quiet disguise, in pretending to be what you are not. Fungi that feed on radio waves. Invisible currents hum through the air, ignored by most life. Yet some fungi convert those signals into growth, into subtle energy. They touch the unseen, harnessing what surrounds them without eyes or ears, thriving in whispers of the modern world. Mushrooms that remember water, a drought passes, rain returns, and mushrooms sprout where soil remembers moisture. Not conscious memory, but encoded in structure, in filaments, in roots that felt the absence and respond to the presence. The past lingers in their readiness. Fungi that sculpt soil, mycelium threads weaving beneath leaves, twisting, knitting, building channels for water, pockets for air. Invisible engineers shaping the forest floor, silently designing the landscape one filament at a time. Every particle arranged, every grain shifted. Slow artistry of earth. Mushrooms that sing in chemical sense, not sound but aroma, drifting, layering, mixing. A message carried to insects, to animals, to other fungi. Complex, delicate, intentional. A song in molecules, a forest symphony that travels on air currents and lingers in memory. Fungi that survive fire. Flames sweep the forest, blackening earth, devouring everything above. Yet deep underground, mycelium rests, waiting. When heat subsides, it rises again, resilient and unbroken. Destruction becomes a cue, a reset, an invitation to bloom anew. Mushrooms that grow upside down, hanging from branches, caps pointed to the earth, spores dripping toward the ground. Gravity defied, expectation ignored. Life bends, twists, turns, showing that direction is relative and emergence unstoppable. The language of fungal networks, silent, invisible, endless. Mycelium connects root to root, tree to tree. Signals pass, nutrients shift, warnings spread. No words, no sound, yet a forest whispers, a network communicates, and every mushroom plays a part in the hidden conversation. Mushrooms growing in complete silence. No wind, no birds, no whisper of the forest. Yet mushrooms still emerge. The quiet doesn't stop them. It doesn't guide them. They push through soil, through leaf litter, through damp earth, silently sensing the world. Growth doesn't always need sound. It needs persistence, patience, and the unseen pulse of life beneath the ground. Every stem rising, every cap unfolding, a testament to quiet persistence. Fungi that thrive on sound vibrations. Some fungi listen, not with ears but with filaments, with tiny strands of mycelium feeling vibrations, sensing the tremble of footsteps, the patter of rain, the hum of insects. Every vibration becomes a cue, every pulse a signal. Growth accelerates, spores prepare to launch, networks expand, tuned to the subtle music of the forest, thriving on what others can't even hear. Mushrooms that appear in perfect symmetry, circle after circle, spiral after spiral. Symmetry emerges without a plan, without intention, yet the universe arranges it anyway. Gills aligned, caps balanced, edges curved in mathematical perfection. It's not art, it's adaptation. It's beauty born from efficiency. Every mushroom a mirror of invisible patterns, a reflection of nature's quiet order. Night-blooming mushrooms, they wait. Darkness drapes the forest, and only then do they rise. Fragrant, soft, luminous sometimes, opening their gills under moonlight. Night becomes a stage, windless and still, and they release their spores into cool, silent air. Darkness is not a limit, it is a partner, a collaborator, a cloak for their fragile, fleeting dance. Fungi that only fruit once in a lifetime, a single chance, once. Years of growth hidden underground, of filaments expanding, networks stretching, and then, one day, one cap appears, one fleeting spore release. The rest of the life spent preparing, building, connecting, and this one act carries all of it forward. Life distilled into a single, breathtaking moment. Mushrooms discovered by accident, a stumble through the woods, a curious glance at a damp log, a forgotten leaf lifted, and there it is, a mushroom nobody knew existed. Hidden brilliance waiting for a mistake, for an accident, for attention. Discovery often comes from error, from wandering, from noticing the ordinary and realizing it is extraordinary. Hidden fungi living inside rocks, solid stone, unyielding, ancient, yet fungi slip inside, threading through cracks, mining minerals, surviving where nothing else dares. Invisible, slow, persistent. Life inside rock seems impossible until you see it thriving, carving niches in hard stone, turning what seems lifeless into a secret world of slow-motion growth. Mushrooms and lunar cycles, waxing, waning, rising, falling. The moon pulls tides, pulls water, pulls subtly at life. Some mushrooms align with this celestial rhythm, fruiting when the moon is full, holding back when it is new. They are small, tethered to soil and root, yet they feel the pull of the heavens, timing their ephemeral emergence with lunar grace. Do mushrooms sense time? They do not watch clocks, they do not measure hours, but the rhythm of light and dark, warmth and rain, decay and renewal, it flows through them. Mycelium grows, contracts, expands, aware, not consciously, yet sensitive to cycles. Time is felt in growth, in readiness, in patience, and every mushroom responds without speaking a word. The mystery of undiscovered fungi. There are worlds we have never seen, hidden beneath leaves, under soil, inside bark. Unknown spores waiting to drift, unknown caps waiting to unfurl. The forest, the desert, the caves hold secrets, and fungi are masters of hiding. Every step we take uncovers a fraction of their kingdom, yet much remains a whisper, a question mark, a soft, unbroken mystery. And that's okay, that's natural. Endings make space, make room. The fear of ending, let it dissolve. You're not ending, not tonight, just pausing, resting. The temporary cessation of consciousness called sleep, small ending, safe ending, necessary ending, and in the morning, beginning again, rebirth, continuation. The cycle continues. The universe keeps turning, mushrooms fruiting in dark forests, spores drifting on night winds, mycelium spreading through soil, patient, eternal, indifferent. The great transformation, the endless recycling, life to death to life to death. No beginning, no end, just the turning, the changing, the flow, and you're part of it, part of the flow, part of the transformation, your breath, part of Earth's breath, your carbon, part of Earth's carbon, your consciousness, a brief spark, a temporary pattern in the vast network of existence. Beautiful because temporary, meaningful because mortal. Here now, in this moment, this breath, this fading light, this soft descent into sleep, into darkness, into peace. Your body knows what to do, has always known. Let it, trust it. The fungi don't doubt, don't question. They just grow, just spread, just continue. Be like fungi, simple, certain, present, doing what needs doing, being what you are, without question, without resistance. The night deepens, the quiet settles, everything slowing, everything softening, the world outside continuing, cars passing, wind blowing, stars burning. But here, in your space, in your darkness, everything stills, everything rests. The mycelium keeps growing, keeps spreading beneath frozen ground, beneath sleeping forests. Patient work, invisible work, essential work, done in darkness, done in silence, done without witness, like your body's work, happening now, cells repairing, neurons reorganizing, immune system patrolling, all without your knowledge, your permission, your awareness. The body's wisdom, deeper than mind, older than thought, continuing, always continuing. Mushrooms, mysteries, 100 mystery woven through the night, through your consciousness, through the slow drift toward sleep, toward rest, toward the renewal that waits in darkness. The facts dissolve now, becoming dream, becoming metaphor, becoming nothing, just patterns of sound, of breath, of meaning fading into meaninglessness, into pure experience, into being. Nothing more to learn, nothing more to know, just being, just breathing, just drifting. The mushrooms will still be there tomorrow, fruiting, spreading, transforming. But tomorrow is not now. Now is only this breath, this moment, this final release into sleep, into peace, into the quiet intelligence of the body, knowing without thought, resting without effort, heavier, heavier, sinking, sinking, like spores settling through still air, like mycelium growing into dark soil, becoming part of the darkness, part of the earth, part of the great network of existence, connected, held, safe. The universe keeps turning. The quiet intelligence of mushrooms weaving unseen worlds, and will keep drifting, floating together through the mysteries.